Director Claire Hawkes to find out more.
Action for Youth is all about changing lives for the better and inspiring young people. We work with around about 25,000 young people a year through a range of intervention programmes, which can be offering a vital safety net right through to a springboard so that they can go on and do great things. And one of the programmes that always takes my breath away is the work we do with extremely vulnerable young people through the Breakout Programme. This is a really hard-hitting 12-week anti-knife and gang programme, and it's designed to bring about positive change to the lives of very vulnerable young people who are at risk of spiralling and losing purpose in their lives. And having been in my job now for round about 9 months, that's the one that absolutely just takes my breath away. All of the other programmes are wonderful and brilliant, but this one I think is particularly important to be able to talk about.
And as well, what's really nice, I think, what really stands out is how, closely your teams work with young people and really have a great understanding of what they're thinking in terms of, why they might be carrying a knife, for example, or why they might be in certain situations.
Absolutely. And I think because we are really experienced about working with vulnerable young people, we're really trusted. So we hear some of the reasons why they're carrying knives. And the one that comes up time and time again is that they feel safer that they're carrying a knife, which of course we know actually places them at much greater risk of hurting themselves. So the knife being turned on them, or they could end up in a situation where things just get out of control completely. So it's about having those trusted relationships. So this is youth work at its best, and being able to really have honest conversations and new conversations about drugs, about things that are happening in their lives. And I think as soon as you establish that trust, really you get under the skin of what the problem is. And then you get to the stage where you can know what the solutions are. So young people tell us what their solutions are, what's needed. And I think that's particularly important. This isn't an easy subject to talk about. And so it's important that we absolutely make sure that we hear the young people's voice in this as well, and that we make it very real what's right for them and at what point as well. The earlier the better. We need to be able to give young people the tools to be able to break away from quite toxic and dangerous situations, but we need to reach them before they reach a knife. So very trusted early intervention as quickly as possible.
And there's something really nice about the real collaborative approach as well with the work that you do.
It is. I think it's a nice way, and it is about us together changing lives. So a few years ago, we developed the Breakout Programme, and it's endorsed by Thames Valley Police. And we knew that we needed something that was quite hard hitting. This isn't something you can do in an afternoon. So the 12-week course brings positive change to the lives of very vulnerable young people who are literally at risk of spiralling. And we work a lot with schools. They know their pupils well, and they can easily identify who are the ones that are displaying early indicators of susceptibility to crime. So these are young people who might be at risk of exclusion. They might be showing really disruptive behaviour, maybe poor school attendance, antisocial behaviour, and they're already maybe having some negative contact with the police. So schools are really good at being able to know their pupils well and come forward to say, actually, I think we could do with this support. And it's about us then being able to support those young people. So the programme is a bespoke one. It's tailored to every single pupil that's in the group. So no one course is the same. And it's about having a mixture of one-to-one mentoring with very experienced staff so that they can help reflect on their behaviour and their choices, and they can make more positive decisions going forward. And then we have classroom sessions with new ways about talking with drugs, gangs, county lines, street first aid as well, which I think is so important. It's about learning life-saving skills. And then outdoor education, so bringing in team dynamics, confidence, leadership skills. All of these things come together, and we can then help these young people be able to take a different path, give them the tools themselves to be able to make other decisions in the future and more sensible choices.
So what would you say are the main benefits of the programme?
The benefits, I think, again, this is what takes my breath away, when I've heard of the team talking to the young people and I've heard how the sessions have been, I've heard the young people themselves say what they like, what they don't like about the programme. And it's really interesting hearing their reflections because, of course, as soon as you get to quite a raw subject, as soon as you're about to have a bit of a breakthrough, sometimes you can have a change in behaviour. And it's really interesting when the team come back and say, "God, that was a hard session." Actually, the following week, that young person has moved leaps and bounds. So we do what's a sort of monitoring at the beginning and then right the way through to the end and see where that young person has moved, where on their journey have they been. And they all say that it's made them really think differently. So we've had really positive statements from young people say, "I used to think it was really cool. It's not now. I didn't realise what was going on." Sometimes we have very powerful statements that say, I did drugs to get me through school and I'm going to stop that now. I can see what's going to happen in my future, or I can see if I go out with a certain person, I know what's going to happen and I know how to get myself out of that situation. We've also had schools say this has helped turn that young person's life around. They're now actually in school. They were at risk of being excluded and now they're not. So, of course, from a school's perspective, they're actually getting more education, which again changes their life chances in future. And we know that schools are very grateful to be able to pinpoint exactly what students are needed at what time. I think as well, when you said about the partnership side, we're grateful to the businesses as well that work with us and our partners. So they've come forward to be able to give these young people valuable life tools to be able to turn their life around. So companies like Red Kite Housing, Heart of Bucks, Wycombe Bid, they're all really coming forward. So Luke from Paradigm Housing explained that they got involved because of their community focus. They support the programme because they want to empower local young people to really embrace a path of positivity. They want to ensure vulnerable young people have opportunities and guidance so that they can have a brighter future. So it really is about us all coming together and being able to say, how can we really make a difference? How can we change lives? And of course, it makes communities safer.
And one of the main challenges, I imagine, must be, that there must be so many different types of process depending on the young person. You might say to one, "Oh, don't carry a knife, it's wrong," and they'll say, "Oh, yes, you're probably right." Or more extreme, it might take a lot longer to kind of get the message across.
I think that's the importance of the 12-week programme and that one-to-one mentoring support. So again, trusted individuals. These are really experienced youth workers. Youth work absolutely at its best. And they are able to connect with young people. Every course is different, and every young person, like you say, will have a different circumstance. So this is about connecting with them very quickly, but being able to build a relationship and use all of the tools around us. So this is where outdoor education comes in really well. And we're able to look at what's going on for that young person and be able to have very honest conversations. And sometimes I've heard schools say, "I never knew that was going on." And so actually they are disclosing in some ways about really what is happening in their life and what's stopping them from moving forward. And it's about then you can be able to get into, okay, this is very real now. So what's going to happen? How can you help yourself? And some of the little steps, some might be huge steps, but some might be little, but they're life-saving steps.
And so rewarding as well to be able to say, look, this really does work.
It's incredibly rewarding. I mean, as I say, it just takes my breath away. I think in the 9 months that I've worked with the charity, it's astounding just how much they do and how passionate the staff are. So I really do have to give all the staff credit. I think it's their connections with young people and it's their ability to be able to, their passion really, they want to be able to support these young people. And we need schools to be able to come forward to identify those young people. So we've got the skills, we know that this works, and it's about being able to identify who needs this the most and be able to have that effective early intervention in place. It's incredibly rewarding. And we know schools will happily be references for us. They've been able to see a difference that it makes. And young people have given us some wonderful statements. So there's lovely case studies. So again, if there's anybody that is thinking, actually, come the long summer holidays in September, what can we do? Please do get in touch. You can see on our web pages, which is www.actionforyouth.org. And you can see in there /breakout, you can see some case studies and some quotes from young people. Actually, this is the most important thing. It's about hearing from them about how they're turning their lives around.
I think that's what's most inspiring, isn't it? That, as you say, you read and hear examples of how it really has made a difference. And that could be, your son or your daughter or your friend or just yourself even, that could be applying too.
It is. It's very worrying when you begin to talk to young people, and these aren't all older children either. We are talking about children as young as 8 are recognizing that some people are carrying knives in school. It's not that this is down to a particular area or a particular niche or a particular age group. Vaping is absolutely huge. Edibles are a problem in schools. So it's about us being able to talk to schools and come up with solutions together so that we can help keep young people safe. So it is important that we have these honest conversations about what's happening, and don't brush it under the carpet. It's very easy to be able to think, oh, well, that's bound to happen at sixth form age. Well, actually it doesn't. And it's important to be able to think about these things in year 7, year 8, year 9. And some head teachers have said to us, can we do a bespoke course for year 7 or year 8? So actually it's about working with schools to know what's best for your young people.
And the summer holidays as well, it does feel a really good time to be, perhaps have the opportunity to reflect, perhaps as a parent or as a young person, just on what can be done.
It can. I think those honest conversations, and it's about knowing that there are trusted solutions out there, and we should make sure that we invest in those and get them put in place as quickly as possible. I don't think we've got time to lose on this. That knife crime is going up. More than a fifth of offences involving knives were committed by children, and it's rising 9% every year. So I think it's important that we continue talking about it and we get this effective early intervention in place as soon as possible. So I would say long summer holidays, as you say, and then we come back in September. I'd also suggest as well, the long summer holidays, think about different things that young people can do. We have the Junction, which is a 7-day-a-week youth club in High Wycombe. It's in the library just by the Eden Centre, and that's amazing. Paul and his team have just done a wonderful job. We see around about 90 young people come in and out, and again, this is youth work working really well. You don't have to book. Young people can just turn up. It's open at 4:30 every day. You can get something to eat, have some activities, and it's a really lovely atmosphere. And I think if you're concerned about that long summer holiday and you're thinking, where can I go? What can I do? Lots of different activities. Please check out the Junction or talk about the Junction with your young person to be able to say, why don't you try it out?
It's really great to know that support is available, isn't it? Both with the Breakout Programme, but also, as you say, a facility like the Junction locally as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of focus for young people. Sometimes it can be difficult to find out, but I think this is where High Wycombe is really good. We've got the facilities there. It's about us all coming together as a whole community, making sure that we talk about it, making sure we promote what's out there. So that we can tap into things really easily. And if there's a business out there that wants to make communities safer, then again, please get in touch with us. Go and visit the website, actionforyouth.org, and together we can make a real difference and change lives.
So what's the main message that you hope people will take away from this programme?
I really hope that people will recognise that knife crime is rising, and that's particularly worrying, and understand that there are solutions out there. And please just get in touch. If you're a school, if you're a parent in concern, please talk to schools. If you're a school, please come and talk to us. If you're in the community, if you're a business that wants to make community safer, it's about coming together. We have the tools available, and it's about making sure that they are accessible as early as possible so that we can change young lives around.
And remind us where we can find out more.
It's www.actionforyouth.org/breakout.
Pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much, Neve, for your time.
Thank you, Colin. That's great.
Development Director at Bucks-based Action for Youth, Claire Hawke, speaking to us here at Wycombe Sound.
Online, on Radio Player, and on 106.6 FM. This is Wycombe Sound.